Bethenny Frankel was a former housewife of the Housewives of New York on Bravo, and she became a big business person after she created something known as a Skinnygirl margarita, and then she created an entire line full of Skinnygirl products. There she is. Some of you might be familiar with her. Well, as a business-minded individual, she is now rumored to want to be part of the marijuana market by creating Skinnygirl marijuana. Now, what exactly is that? It sounds absolutely crazy. Well, according to insiders, and they spoke to Us Weekly, and by the way, I should remind you that these seem to be rumors at this point, but it does bring up a really broad discussion about whether or not it makes sense to market marijuana in certain ways. Anyway, according to Us Weekly, it will be specifically or specially engineered strain of pot designed to not give you the munchies. She read about how profitable the cannabis industry is and wants to get in on that. So there are two different types of strains of marijuana.
I like it how that's like almost and she wants to get in on that. You know?
I mean, who wouldn't want to get in on that? Of course, it's going to be super profitable. And the idea of skinny marijuana that doesn't give you munchies is awesome. I like that. But I don't know whether or not that's actually something that can be engineered. I'm sure probably can be. But nonetheless, there are two different types of strains of marijuana. You guys know what they are, sativas and indicas. And one makes you a little more energetic and euphoric, whereas the other one makes you kind of want to lay into the couch and be relaxed, right? So that's all I know about marijuana. I don't know how it can be engineered to be different, but there is a possibility. And if there is that possibility, I mean, there is a market out there for people who don't want to get the munchies when they smoke.
But there are two things here which strikes me is that one, can you make something, can you specifically engineer it so you don't want to eat afterwards, which would obviously be incredibly appealing to some people, or can you just say that and market it that way?
And it has like a placebo effect, possibly.
Or it doesn't.
Has
but
no
you
effect
still,
whatsoever, but you just
say it. I mean,
Yeah.
the one of the points made in this piece is like, you know, bourbon is bourbon, but people get attached to brands, and with booze, people like, you know, you hear people all the time, you know, when they want, I literally don't know anything about booze either, but they'll ask, you know, they want Sky vodka and not Schmeckman's.
I think that
Schmeckman's vodka, by the way, is delicious. Goes down super smooth. Yeah. It gives you kind of a Jewish afterwards.
I like that you brought up that quote because I thought it was a good one. I actually have a graphic of that quote. So one individual who's actually in the marijuana market says the following: you could say that all bourbon is bourbon. It's the same proof, so what's a brand matter? But it does matter. We know people have an affinity for product quality and consistency, which is what we offer. Okay, so he basically equates his marijuana business to the alcohol business in that he sells a product that has a certain quality and consistency and yada yada. Look, there are differences between strains. There are differences within strains. There are, you know, marijuana, you know, there is marijuana that's stronger than other marijuana. So I think that it is a possibility, but it's also really interesting to see how some people in the business are trying really, really hard to resist any type of branding in this way, but it's inevitable.
Yeah, they're going
to. It's going to be. I mean, this is going to be branding 101. She's already started on it, even if, you know, for example, they say that this is just a rumor and no one's actually confirmed that she's ever really thinking about it. But it's out there now to have these people say, oh, look, we can do this. We can present it and make this our brand, and it'll sell like hotcakes, whether it works or not.
Yeah, whether she does it or not, somebody's going to do diet weed. And, you know, Jenny Craig will do diet weed, or, you know, it'd be funny to see Kirstie Alley up there sort of, you know.
Smoking a split.
Yeah. But because now the research can go into it fairly, because as the stigma comes off and the dollars are there, all of a sudden you don't have to do this in your basement.
Yeah.
You know, you can be a company and can devote R&D dollars to figuring out what works and what doesn't. And as we both seem to think that, like, even if it doesn't work, you can just say it works.
Yeah.
And also because it's like, I assume that this is going to be a little like the Wild West now, because there's not going to be huge regulation on that kind of thing. Maybe there will be.
Well, so there won't be anybody that's actually going to be checking these
That's
claims.
Right. Nobody's going to.
It's going to be like the supplement market, where the FDA doesn't really look into the claims of anything made.
Right. The FDA will maybe maybe the states will. I don't know. I'd be curious what they're. But there's also, I like this, the Marley. Can we talk just quickly about Marley's? So Marley Natural. So Bob Marley's family is marketing Marley Natural weed. I just love all the things they say about it. Premium cannabis products that honor the life and legacy of Bob Marley. how is that going to honor his life and legacy? Like, I don't, like, it's just weed. Like, you're selling weed and you want to make money. It's fine. Like, you're the Marley family. But you're not going to honor his life.
Well, they're saying by buying it from us. Therefore, you are honoring by giving us your money.
By giving us your money. So then it goes on.
Essentially.
So then I'm reading straight from this piece. Where was this piece in? This was
US,
this is by Abby. I can't pronounce her last name, nor can I see it because I'm old. Haglage. And the headline is great. With diet weed, Bethenny Frankel ruins marijuana. Marley's business model revolves around specific heirloom Jamaican cannabis strains that are inspired by those that Bob Marley enjoyed. The word inspired always means has nothing to do with, right? Always not what, inspired is a code word for not what we're saying it is. The underlying message being, you want to be like Bob Marley, smoke this. But the real ingenious of the Marley Natural Plan may be the decision to become a brand with a strong social conscience. So I'm like, oh, they're going to give money away. On top of the specific strains, the brand will sell cannabis and hemp-infused topicals, accessories, and limited edition products, all built on philanthropic initiatives. Great. That will, quote, ensure the families and communities who have been harmed by prohibition have the opportunity to benefit from the new legal cannabis economy. That's not really charity. That just means
opportunism.
We weren't allowed to sell it before, and now we are, and we're going to take all that money.
It's funny because I had a different interpretation. I thought that they meant families that were harmed by prohibition because of incarceration or things like that.
I mean, if that happens, but I think it just means them.
Well, then that's hilarious.
Yeah, right. We were not allowed to sell it before, and now we are. So we are. So we are.
I don't blame them.
No,
there is a market for it. I'm definitely in favor of legalizing it and regulating it.
Maybe you're right.
And pretty soon, I mean, when you really think about it, as more and more states legalize it for recreational purposes, we're going to start seeing ads for it. Maybe not on television, but certainly billboards and things like that. Maybe in magazines, if it doesn't already exist.
A McDonald's for weed, or commercials like Viagra. All of the people.
Ask your doctor about sativa.